Welcome back, everyone, to the T.R.O.N podcast. This is your host, Rashad Woods, from all the way across the earth. I had a chance, a special guest today from Estonia, Miss Silja Paulus. Thank you so much. Had a lot of accomplishments. I'm going to give you a chance to speak for yourself because I thought what you've done so far, motivational coach, author, a fitness coach, bikini model. I mean, you've done a lot of great things, and I'm so honored to have you on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, I've done a lot. And recently I actually also found out how to kind of put everything together that I do. So I'm also doing some podcasting. I'm talking about chains and how to be like the catalyst. I mean, I am the catalyst. I'm the person who helps people to start chains. And I'm actually also using like all the things that I have learned because I've done so many things because I'm just so excited about life. I'm so excited about doing different things. And I guess I've like most of my life just also loved competitive sport. So that's why first I was marathon runner for more than 10 years. I wasn't seriously competing in the beginning. I was just doing it for fun. I was traveling with friends. So it was also like a marathon tourism. So we just went to places like Reykjavik, Rome, Milan, Barcelona, where I live right now, actually. Beautiful. And we did a race. And we also did like in Scotland around the Loch Ness Lake. Didn't see the monster, but basically we just did the race. And after this, we were just kind of hiking and sightseeing. Of course, the body is like super dead after the marathon, but still you can do and see something. So I was running for more than 10 years. Last years of these quite competitive, like in competition mode, racing, because I wanted to do something big. And at some point I was like, okay, I'm bored now. And I want to do something harder because for me,
that's harder than that. That's nuts, right? What's harder than marathons?
So I also studied to be a nutritionist, and as a nutritionist, I was always so annoyed by the fact, the runners are like, okay, I'm just gonna eat all the candy and all the crap in the world because I'm gonna burn everything. I'm gonna burn the calories. But for me, it was like, but you don't have like optimal brain performance. You don't have like optimal speed and recovery and all this. I was like, you can optimize, you can be better. You don't have to be like just, get by and random. So that's why I went into bodybuilding. Because, in bodybuilding, you're not like, I'm going to eat the candy, I'm going to burn it off. It's like, no, this is like more strict.
Yeah.
So I went to the gym, I started building with a coach, and I've been on the stage twice as a bikini fitness competitor. Right now, I'm not in competition shape, but I still love to lift. I just actually, I just came from the gym. This is like real proof. It's like if you lift heavy stuff, your hands will look like this. Even when my mother is like,
calluses and everything like that on your hands and everything, for sure. Absolutely.
It's like, but I love it. I love the feeling that it gives to me. It's not just about, these 3 minutes that I spend on the stage. Because even like I haven't competed for 2 years now. And I guess I won't be competing this year, but maybe next year, never know. And of course, I'm like in my mid-30s right now. And I'm like, okay, when I'm 50, I want to compete. I want to be that woman who's like, okay, I'm in the best shape. So there's always time for this kind of sport. And I just love the process. I love being in this vibe. And I love just doing the hard stuff because this also grows you as a person. Maybe you have also experienced something similar, growing yourself as a person.
Well, it's funny because, I do martial arts, right? So I have a black belt in Tong Sudo, which is Korean karate. I have a brown belt in Taekwondo, and I Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I'm not great at, but I've started out in both of those. And one of the slogans they say is embrace the suck, right? So you have to embrace the things that are not easy for you. And so it seems like you took a path of very hard resistance to challenge yourself. And a lot of times what I've noticed, and I don't want to get too personal, that people sometimes do that because of things that they went through or had to have challenges for. I mean, what challenged you to decide that this is what I'm going to do?
For me, I'm the kind of person who has never had like very serious like trauma. Sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe I should have like more difficulties in my life just to like kind of have a justification to be somebody. So I'm kind of like searching and looking for these challenges for myself. And I'm actively choosing these challenges. And even when I was like 8 years old, I already knew that, okay, I want to be something more. I want to have an impact. I want to have a legacy. I want to inspire people, motivate people. But of course, first and foremost. I'm doing this for myself because
Absolutely.
I wouldn't feel good if I wasn't living out my full potential. I want to
Correct.
do the big stuff. I want to do the hard. I want to have the fancy hair and makeup and the shiny
And it's
bikini.
hard to motivate other people if you haven't done it.
Yeah, and yeah, when we go into the spiritual stuff a little bit, so according to my human design, there is also one of these energy centers that is all about willpower. So for me, this is like super like active, and also my identity center is also very active. So I know who I am, and I have very strong willpower to do the stuff. So for me, the
Right.
motivation is always like quite level. For
Good.
people who have like the undefined willpower, for them the motivation is, oh, some days you want to do it, some days you don't. But for me, even when I'm tired, for me it's never a question about am I going to the gym. It's like, yes, I'm going,
For sure.
but let's just figure out what time exactly.
Exactly.
Because it's part of my identity. Being an athlete, this is the core part of my identity because it's not just a habit. So I've been
It's a
building it
lifestyle.
from, yeah, it's a lifestyle identity, and I've been building it, and I make most of my decisions from that standpoint. So when I was runner, very often I was, you had like a workout in the morning, and I was always like more a morning person anyway, and not much into parties. So I was like, okay, I am going to run tomorrow morning. So today I'm not going to stay out late. I'm just going because I was
Right.
choosing this all the time. And for
Right.
me, it's also about choosing myself all the time.
And it seems like that correlates directly to you when it comes to being a clarity coach and a motivation and a Mindvalley coach as well too. So
Yeah.
you teach peak performance for people. What do you see here from people who aren't meeting their maximum potential, and how do you get that out of them?
They're like not satisfied. I also I want to work with people, and I work with people who actually they know that there's something more. So they have the kind of this some kind of urge coming out of them, but maybe they need somebody to just walk them to the edge and then
Right.
talk them into jumping, and then they jump. I'm not gonna jump with them because they have to go and fly.
For sure.
And I'm not gonna push either, but I'm kind of like talking to them
Right.
and making them into this decision, like making them to decide that, okay, this is what I want. I also
Right.
go very deep into the core why. So I ask them why they want to do stuff. And it's always like asking like why maybe like 7 times. Because it's never about, oh, I want to lose the 5 kilos. It's about, okay, if you lose the 5 kilos, then you will feel more confident. If you feel more confident, maybe you are better performing at work. Then you get promotion.
Right.
Promotion brings you money, and with money you can do many things. So it's always like deeper. It's always about something more. And for me, the people that I attract, they are people who they kind of know, okay, there's something more. I want to do something cooler. But for some reason, they need somebody who brings the clarity. And that's why I actually have like 3 sessions. So it's first time we talk about what and why. Second is about getting the blocks away, because very often you might have these stories in your head that limit you and that
No
don't
question.
allow you to perform at your best. Maybe you are, okay, I want to be on the fitness stage, but okay, I'm too old. I want it. Yeah, I want it very much. But
Right.
I'm too old. I haven't done any sport. So we also have to rewrite these stories because,
Right.
your mind can believe anything. I guess as a martial art practitioner,
No question.
you know how strong your mind has to be for that.
I think the biggest thing, and I love talking to people who do things like what you do, and that's one of the reasons that I started this show. And when you reference martial arts, it's very easy to get in your own head because when you either A, compare yourself to somebody who's already doing it really well and you're not there, or B, you've already made up your mind that, oh, I can't do that move. Well, you have to do it within the confines of your physique. You can still perform a technique. It may not look like Jean-Claude Van Damme, but you can still do what your physical attributes allow you to do. But if you've already made up in your mind you can't do that move, you've already
Yeah.
lost. And it sounds corny, but it's true, you know. And so
So in martial art, how do you change the limiting beliefs? Do you just like force yourself through this? You just practice some
yeah,
moves so many times that it goes away, or how does it work?
it really at some point your muscles kind of fire, you know what I'm saying? So like you really
Hmm.
have to, it's weird, like adults have it's really weird to, I'll put it in the most simple terms. You have to be a kid, right? You know how like a kid touches and does everything and doesn't care who's looking at them, they just do
Yeah.
it. But then you reach a certain stage of adulthood and you start kind of looking over your shoulder and wondering who's watching. You get insecure and you get really anxious. You have to transform yourself into a kid a little bit, right? And
Mm.
that's how you start performing that. The punch will go, or your muscles will fire in a certain way. It does take years to get decent. I mean, you did
Yeah.
bodybuilding and marathons. It's not easy.
It
not
takes
easy.
time. And when I went into this process, I knew this is going to take time. So I was like building myself up as a runner. So actually, I was even for the first 6 years, I was just like running, and then I got serious. Then I got like a coach. I was like, okay, I actually can be fast. Let's kind of like compete on a serious level. So that's when I dropped like 45 minutes faster. So that's quite a lot for a marathon. So my best is 3:15, 3 hours and 15 minutes.
What's the length of the marathons that you're running, just that you were running at the time?
What was the length? Marathon is a marathon. It's 42 kilometers or 26 miles. So it's by definition, it's 42 kilometers, 26 miles. That's the full marathon.
Ooh,
and I completed 20 of those. I started a few more, but I didn't finish all of them because of different reasons. Not feeling so good, too hot, or like. And also when I was like more serious about running, I would even after 26 kilometers, I would even like stop running because I was like, okay, it's too hot. I'm not gonna get the personal best.
Right.
And if I just finish this one, I will be super tired. I will have to recover for like 3 weeks at least. I'm just gonna quit this one and then rest properly and try again like in a few weeks or in a month when the weather is better and the conditions are better.
So did you do long distance running before or after modeling?
It was before.
It was before. Okay.
Yeah, so first I was a long distance runner, and then I switched to bodybuilding. And I was actually at the end of my running days, I was also training a little bit in the gym because even runners or anybody kind of needs some kind of strength training. But of course, back then I was hip thrusting 60 kilos. I was like, oh my god, I'm so strong. Now I'm like 60. This is like that's not even warm up because right now I can do 180, so it's 3 times more as a bodybuilder.
Right.
But I was already doing a little bit of gym. I already loved it. And at some point, I guess I was tired of running. Like I said, I'm tired of this nutrition stuff and not eating well, or like being in this mindset with the people who are like, oh yeah, I don't know. So I wanted to just level up in a way and see what my body can do. So I just wanted to be more amazing.
What was your diet like when you were bodybuilding?
It was quite the classic one. Nowadays I eat very differently. Again, I'm always like refining, but I guess I was also spoiling myself a little bit because many fitness competitors do, all this sugar-free, zero-calorie, not real food. I wouldn't do it again, but at some point I was addicted to the flavor drops like mango and coconut and chocolate and white chocolate, and I was putting flavor drops everywhere. Some days I might even just take some egg whites, add some flavor drops, and this would be like my dessert because I was like, okay, I can't eat anything, but I can eat a little bit of protein. So okay, egg whites with flavor drops, yum.
There you go.
But I was also eating quite a lot of vegetables, as lean meat and clean meat as possible, eggs, dairy, cottage cheese. Of course, all this junk food crap was out, but it was never like my thing anyway because my body just says, no, I don't want it. And nowadays I'm more like a carnivore. So I'm eating like a lot of fat and protein and less carbs. But during my bodybuilding days, it was like the fat was very, very low. I wasn't eating much fat. And because of this, I also had some hormonal changes. And I would say, it also messed up my emotional levels and my body weight. So I gained like 15 kilos after my last competition. It's like, poof.
Oh my goodness.
The body just went crazy because the fat percentage was quite low. And after this, the body just was like, okay, I want to recover. Be big and never know, because I was like in energy deficit. So of course, if I do it again, I would like to do it in a easier way that wouldn't like make me so sad and lonely, because the emotional side of this sport is also like.
So were you familiar with nutrition? I hate to cut you up, sorry, I just had to ask because you're talking about the food. Were you familiar with nutrition while you were doing this, or were you just kind of like, I think I know what to do?
Yes, because I also studied to be a nutritionist. So actually I went into this knowing exactly what I was doing. And I was already like tracking my food as well.
Okay.
I also have as I'm a health, fitness, business coach, but I also have like nutritionist background. So yeah.
I just was curious if that was like pre your nutrition, or you were just kind of getting your feet wet to kind of, people, the internet is available and people say these are the things to eat. But actually, having a degree and knowing exactly, biomedically what to put in your body versus just following a Google
Yeah. I guess maybe in some ways being a nutritionist was actually an obstacle for me, because I was like, I'm a nutritionist. Okay, my trainer told me to eat this, but I know better, So it's not always the best idea. You should be like trusting your trainer as well, like, fully, not just
Understood.
do your own stuff. So it might have been a little bit of obstacle as well.
For sure. Yeah, it's a little bit of conflict there. So can you tell a little bit about your work as a Mindvalley coach?
I'm certified by Mindvalley, so
Yeah, I
that's
saw
what
that.
it means.
Yeah.
So I already told you a little bit about how I coach. So
Right.
it's about being the catalyst and bringing people clarity. So basically, it's like 3 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity, catalyst, very like getting people into action very, very fast.
Right.
Because I'm not the kind of person who is going to hold your hand for 3 months or 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm also right now building like 8-month program, but every month we would have like a new topic, and then we go through the 3 sessions, like emotional, spiritual, your finances, your relationships.
Right.
But I'm not gonna do this
The
like
whole person.
long.
The whole person.
Yeah, the whole person, because
Okay.
my
That's really
first
good.
Mindvalley certification was Holobody. So in this, we also saw person as a holistic being. And
Right.
even when I was talking to my clients, somebody came to me because they wanted to have better nutrition and move more and sleep better. And at some point, after 1 year, we were actually talking more about her job, because this was making her anxious. And because of having issues at work, she wasn't doing all the health related
Right.
stuff. So it was very, very important to talk about her job and why
Got
she
it.
doesn't feel good there. And yes, now she quit her job
Okay.
and she's entrepreneur. She has her own business, and she's, back to the nutrition and fitness routines as well, because she's feeling better.
Right.
So all the parts of the people come together. And I'm using my knowledge as a health coach, fitness
Right.
coach, and business coach. Like I have 3 different certifications from Mindvalley, and I'm also very linked to Mindvalley. I go to the events, and I was also volunteering and helping to organize a little bit because it was happening in my country.
Nice.
So I'm very connected to Mindvalley, and I have taken all this knowledge from the coaching certifications and also
Mm-hmm.
my personal knowledge as an athlete and nutritionist and also creative writer and whatever. I have many things.
Well, it's funny because you mentioned your creative writing, and that's the next thing I
Yeah.
was actually going to get to, because I saw you're an author and you've also ghostwritten as well too. I mean, like,
Yes,
what
I
books
have
have you
ghostwritten self-help books for my clients.
right?
So this is also something that I do. So I was like, okay, how can I put it all together? If somebody wants to start a book or start like a fitness journey, start a business, I can help to kickstart things. And
Right.
also in human design, I'm the manifesto type who is supposed to initiate and activate and
Of
start
course.
things.
Of
So that's
course.
why I'm not meant to just, hold your hand for 6 months, but I can like, poof, kickstart. And yeah, and
No,
if they need more help, I have friends who can help.
right. I think what I like too when I was reading about the fact that you're an author is everything that you've done really segued into what you were already doing. So
Yeah,
once you realized you were helping people, then it just became the next step of the next stage of evolution on what top of what you're doing already, which
yeah,
is really great.
that's a good approach. Next step of evolution.
Right. It really,
And
yeah,
I
you
feel
just
that,
evolved, right? Like you went from, long distance running, you were like, okay, this is my body and well-being, to now I'm
yeah,
going to go into bodybuilding. Nutrition was on top of that.
yeah,
Then when you realized you helped yourself, it's like, here's how I'm going to help others. And the first thing was mind
yeah,
clarity, certifications, and then it's about your entire person, which is beautiful. I love that.
yeah. I'm bringing my whole being into this. I'm like, this clarity is quite new, but yeah, I have coached people like hundreds and hundreds of hours, but this is like new approach, and I really love it. I'm like, oh my god, everything's possible. And I'm also publishing a new book in March. I just basically wrote a book for myself because it's
Mhm.
about the manifestor type in human design. And I also, I grew so much as a person while I was writing it. So writing, okay, yes, I'm bringing something out for the people, but I'm also getting something out of it because
Absolutely. For sure.
I learned how to be more me during this writing process. I don't know. Do you have any kind of experience that
I've,
you're
you know,
doing?
I've, listen. One of the reasons I'm just going over my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything, and I'm listening to
Mhm.
everything you're saying because it's so beautiful. And I think one of the things that interests me the most is that you don't stop, right? You have
Oh no.
like, it's your motor is crazy, right? Like, it's like a lot of people would be very, very happy to just be that bodybuilder. A lot of people would be very
No.
happy to be that model. And it seems like you have a very big love for people when it comes to bringing out the best in them.
Mm,
And you seem like a no excuse kind of person too, because
yeah. Because
it,
like I said, my willpower center is super defined. It's like proof on fire. So
Right.
I am always motivated, and I love waking up with a purpose. It's like, I'm doing something bigger. I'm like leaving a legacy. I'm inspiring. And I've also been like, I've been on stages. I've talked about health, fitness. Mostly I was talking to digital nomads, but nowadays I'm just also expanding into different areas, and I love to be on podcasts as well. So that's why I just want to repeat and repeat my message, because this also refines it for me, and it can also reach more people.
Right. Now, how big is your customer base when it comes to location? You're in Europe. Do you deal with mostly people in Estonia? Do you get people all
Online.
across? Okay,
So
is it
it's all like
online?
online. Yeah. The location doesn't matter. I love talking to different kind of people.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't get a chance to see any excerpts from your book. What is the upcoming book called?
I don't know if I have the title yet, because I
Okay.
still have like 1 month. It might be
Yeah.
something like Manifest or Magnificence or something like this.
Right.
I'm gonna be working on the book from very soon, next week.
Nice.
So I have the first manuscript. I haven't touched it for a month, because as a creative writer, I also know that you have to let the manuscript just settle and not touch it, and then you can go
Understood.
back and edit.
Understood.
So
Well,
that's next, because I want to have it out for my birthday, which is 3rd of March, 3/3. So
happy
that's
early
kind of the
birthday to you.
deadline. Yeah.
Happy early birthday to you.
Yeah. Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So, where can people find you? Obviously, they don't need me to find you. Where would be the best to locate your services and what you have to offer?
Yeah, they could go to Instagram. It's Celia, SILALJA
Right.
underscore and PS. And also I have the website up. If people, I guess, if they Google Dragonflow, so dragonflow.biz, like business,
Nice.
so they might find it.
Okay.
And also on YouTube, if you
I
search
saw
for
your YouTube channel.
a Clarity Catalyst, because I have my own podcast, interviews and stuff like this up there as well. And also, yeah, you can look for my name LinkedIn, Instagram. I might post a little bit to TikTok, but I'm not super active and responding there. So
Right. I thought it was really interesting too, just briefly, when you were talking to an individual on that bench, and you were saying that it takes like 28 days for your mind to kind of finally grasp. I think you were talking about like you brush your teeth every single day, but then it
yeah.
takes like 28 days for you to just have something
Hmm.
past the point of a task to more like instinctual to you.
Yeah,
How,
I think it was the podcast episode that I did with my friend who is hypnotherapist, and
right.
when she does the hypno session with people, she also gives them like a recording afterwards. So she
Mhm.
makes personal recording, and people will have to listen to this 28 days or like 1 month or
Yeah.
kind of. So this way, also this new connection that they made in their brain, this will also stick, and this will also really stay there, not
Right. Okay.
just
Yeah.
evaporate. So it was about hypnotherapy. But of course, any habit as well, if you just repeat it and you also have intention in it, because you can also brush your teeth without really liking it, and when 28 days is over, throw away the toothbrush.
Right.
But if you
Right.
had the intention, okay, this is good for me, I really want it, you're also creating this connection with your inside your mind, kind of
Right.
like the mind the muscle connections,
Exactly.
muscle, hands, and the mind connecting.
As
Okay,
opposed to
this is
making
good
it
for
just a
us.
task. As opposed to just
Yeah.
making a task you need to complete.
Yeah. Because I really believe that intention and your motivation and your why is very important. So that's why that's the first session that I have when I
Nice.
talk to people about clarity and starting to change. First, okay, what exactly do you want? Because people often are like quite vague, and maybe
Right.
they want many things, but okay, pick one and let's
Mhm.
go into the why, like very deep. What does it give you, and what kind of opportunities open up for you if you become this new kind of person?
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely. Which is, and I think everybody always, to me, hearing you makes me want to work that much harder, because when you realize that it really does, because
On what?
just in general in life and as a human being, right? Because when
Mm.
you see your Instagram page and you see it, the internet is funny, right? Because it's so
Mm-hmm.
many bad things people can, and people like go
Mm-hmm.
to things that make you happy, right? Like go to
Mm.
things that like make you laugh and make you smile. Like avoid the stuff that doesn't make you happy. And
Yeah.
so when I saw your page, I didn't see anything that brought you misery or made you upset. And it was like, and so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this the vibe that you need in life and that people need to hear.
I guess for me, like you said, I make you want to work more. But for
Of
me, the
course.
biggest challenge is to actually learn how to rest. Because,
Right.
I was talking to my coach yesterday, and he told me that, okay, there are two kinds of people in the world. There are some who need to be like pushed more, and
Mhm.
there are like some who are like more rare. who need to actually learn how to slow down.
Sure.
And because otherwise it's very easy to burn out. So I'm also learning, okay, rest, don't push yourself too much. Like, yeah, it's okay.
Right. I think the work you do is fantastic. I look forward to following up with you as well too. So thank you so much for carving out time in your busy schedule to get a chance to be on the T.R.O.N podcast.
It was amazing.
I value your time so much. Thank you so much for being a guest. Appreciate you, Celia.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.